Hello, my name is Chip Baker of Chip Baker, the Success Chronicles. And first, I just want to say thanks so much to Coach Reyes for giving me the opportunity to be here on this platform. I consider it an honor and a privilege. Today, I'll be discussing alignment, and I will be talking about how alignment can help us succeed in life. And when I hear the word alignment, for me, alignment means to be in order. And in order to be in order, I feel that there's a process. And there's three things that I'm going to talk to you about today that hopefully will help you be in alignment as well. The first component is reflection. And the question I ask you is, do you take time to reflect on your growth and your systems or processes for continued growth? That's your reflection time. What we have to do with our reflection is we have to look within to win. It's important to examine ourselves to make sure that we're on the right track, to make sure that we're taking the proper actions and doing what we're supposed to do. We have to look within to win. If we want to be better, we have to look at ourselves. And like Michael Jackson, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And so if there's something that I want to be better on, I have to look within. I have to look at myself first because no one else can change it. I'm the only one that can. So I have to look at myself. What I have to look at is my core common principles. What are the things that I believe in? What are the things that I hang my hat on? What are my negotiables? What are my non-negotiables? Things that I won't do, that I won't compromise. And so from there, when I set my core common principles, I understand what my negotiables and my non-negotiables are. Then from there, I have the opportunity to prioritize. And when I prioritize what's important to me in my life, and I don't do anything else outside of that, right? I reflected on the time to look within. I've reflected and looked at my core common principles, my negotiables and my non-negotiables. And then I prioritized. And so with our reflection, those are the three steps. The next component is awareness. Are you aware of what makes you you? Are you aware of what makes you who you are? And when we are aware, amazing things happen in our life, right? It allows us to be in alignment. And so I believe that our sum total is EERA. The sum total of who we are is E plus R plus A. So our sum total is our environment, our experiences, our relationships, and our actions. We have to be aware of our environments. What have our environments been with us growing up, with us in our career, with our families? What environments have we been blessed to be around to learn some things? The next component is the experiences. In our life, we've been fortunate to achieve some pretty neat things, see some cool things, some experiences, see some not so good things, be around some good people, maybe be around some not so good people. What have been our experiences in our life that we are aware of that we can pull from? The next component, the R, is relationships. And I always share this quote from one of my former pastors, Pastor Danny Green. And he says that our life moves at the speed of our relationships. And it's so true. Those of us that have great relationships in our lives probably achieving some pretty neat things. But those of us that don't have those great relationships, we probably need to get ourselves around better people to have better relationships so that we can continue to soar to high heights in our life. And so the relationships is the R. And then the A is actions. What actions have you taken throughout your life to help you move forward and have continued growth? Or what actions have we taken in our life that have held us back or caused us to not grow like we feel we need to? When we are aware of our environments, our experiences, our relationships, and our actions, it helps us find clarity in our life. And what it does is it puts us in our lane because we draw from all of those things that we have grown through in our life, our environments, our experiences, our relationships, our actions. And it puts us in our lane to do things that the big man has determined for us to do based on those four components. And it makes us who we are. So when we are aware of that environment, experiences, relationships, and actions, it allows us to be in alignment. The last component is investment. What are you willing to invest to determine your success? And when I say invest, I'm not just speaking of money. I'm speaking of your effort, your actions, your sacrifices. What are you willing to put into it? Just like a bank account, you can't expect to get a withdrawal from an account that you haven't put deposits in. And so it's just like life. Like if you hadn't put the work in, if you hadn't invested to put the work in, then on the other side of it, greatness is not going to happen. It's not just going to come to you. You have to go get it. You have to make it happen. And so what are you willing to invest to determine your success? And for me, I believe that maximum effort equals maximum results. And I said it even like I didn't just say maximum effort. No, maximum effort equals maximum results. And when you put in maximum effort, when you invest maximum effort, you receive the benefit from that. You receive the maximum results. Your ROI determines your ROI, and it's an inverse relationship. And then on the flip side of that, your ROI determines your ROI. Now I'll explain to you what that is. Your radar of influence determines your return on your investment. And then your return on your investment determines your radar of influence. And what I mean by that, when you look at your radar of influence, I mean, like, who are the people that you're choosing to put yourself around, right? That's your radar of influence. And it doesn't matter the age, younger, older, we can all learn and be influenced and impacted by anybody that we come in contact with. And so we have to choose to put ourselves around good people so that we can have continued growth. And that radar of influence determines your return on your investment. So when I invest and put myself around great people that I can learn from, well, I learned so many great things, right? I become better in that process. And then, because it's not about me, what happens is now I can take what I've learned and use that to be a blessing to so many others. So the inverse of that is your return on your investment determines your radar of influence. In that return that I get from that, right, it's a cycle. So I get that return from that. And now I have to choose how I want to use that. You know, how all of those things that I put into it, like how do I want to help this certain group or be a blessing for these people or take my EERA and find clarity and use that in my lane and speak on or provide resources. You know, what do I want to do with that? And then from there, it's crazy how you elevate because you put yourself around amazing people. And I'll just tell you, prime example for me, you know, I grew up in a small town in Texas. And, you know, growing up, I didn't know people that wrote books, right? I didn't know people that's doing, you know, most of the things that I'm doing today. I didn't know anybody that did those things growing up. And so this is prime example. Like in my life, I've strived to invest. So I've tried to put myself around great people and I've had a great return from that. But then from that return, I've tried to flip that and not just hold it to myself and be selfish with it and harbor it in. I've chosen to now that I've gained some things and learned some things, hey, I got to give that to some other people and help other people be better as well. And what that does is that makes our world better. So your ROI, your radar of influence, determines your return on your investment. And then your return on your investment determines your radar of influence. And so that's investment. In closing, today I talked to you about being in alignment. And when you are in alignment, it helps you be successful in life. And being in alignment means to be in order and understanding that there's a process to being in order. And the three components that I talked to you about today are reflection, awareness, and investment. With your reflection, you have to look within to win. You have to know what your core common principles are, what you believe in, what are your negotiables, what are your non-negotiables, and then from there, prioritize. With the awareness component, know that our sum total is our EERA. We are the sum total of our environment, our experiences, our relationships, our actions. And when we really wholeheartedly understand that, it allows us to find clarity and it puts us in our lane. And then the last component that I spoke with you about was investment. We have to make sure that we're willing to invest maximum effort. And what happens from there is we receive the maximum benefit from that. We receive the maximum results. And in that process of your investment, know that your ROI determines your ROI, and your ROI determines your ROI. So your radar of influence determines your return on your investment, and your return on your investment determines your radar of influence. And when we can reflect, have awareness, have investment in our success, it's a great place to be because everything is in alignment. It puts us in alignment with our assignment. It allows us to be intentional and on purpose in our path to our success. It allows us to be intentional about being intentional. So again, thanks so much for your time. Get in alignment so you can have maximum success. Go get it.